And we're here. Good morning, Alliance communities out there. EJ here with my buddy Andrew.
Good morning, EJ.
You got to meet Andrew. Was it last week you was on?
Yeah.
We introduced him to you, business owner of Great Miami Appliance Repair in northern Cincinnati, southern Dayton.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Southwest Ohio is what I call it.
Southwest Ohio. Oh, man, we already got a bunch of comments. What's going on, everybody? Kyle's here. Hello. Andrew, what's up, man? About to get that paper, I guess. Well, I got a couple potential LG sealed systems today. So
I did one yesterday.
If they're not in warranty, I'll be trying to sell those. Good morning, Alex. How'd it go, Andrew?
It went great. She opted to pay COD rates instead of waiting for the company who said the only authorized company in our area said they're not taking LGs right now. They'll do your Kenmores. They won't do your LGs.
Wow, I wonder what that's about.
I said, well, if you can work on them and see if they'll send you a compressor, I'll refund the money for the compressor.
Yeah.
She appreciated that.
The last one I done went kind of like that. It was under warranty, and I stopped. I said, "Hey, we got to talk. This is probably going to hurt me, but your fridge is only 2 years old. It's 100% under warranty." She said, "Well, how long is that going to take?" I said, "A week to 3 weeks, but it'll be free." She said, "Are you ready to do it today?" Absolutely. That's that one I posted that she paid full price and gave me a $250 tip.
Whoa.
Thank you.
I unfortunately had to put her on for the next day, but she was fine with that too. She needed time to do the research. So she called Sprint, the local company, the local national outfit that does the warranty work for LG in our area, and they turned her down.
That's wild. We end up cleaning up on one of the LG service providers in my area, but not every time, I don't guess. You might get some of them right. But that's awesome. You know, Justin Gandy kind of taught me it's an impulse buy. So even next day is much better than what a lot of people are giving. Like I've even gone as far as, 2 or 3 days when I wasn't ready and we were a little busier. But as soon as you can get them in, be ready. Next day is solid.
Mine was a little bit circumstantial. I had a dentist appointment yesterday at 4:00, so I wasn't scheduling my afternoon. So I pretty much knew like this will fill the afternoon and I'll be able to knock that out before 4. And I had already had my morning booked, so I just kind of let it stand that way.
Good deal. Good deal.
It can be an impulse buy. I think you're right about that. But I think there are some sales tactics that you can use with the LG compressor replacements, especially. I don't know how easy it is to go if you know that you're dealing with a dual evap and doing the evap as well. But if you're just doing the compressor, if you can keep it around that $1,000 mark, for one, it's a heck of a lot cheaper than the boxes are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking from my own personal opinion, I'm not a believer in anything that's being produced right this moment. I think we're still a few years away from a great refrigerator because of the regulations behind our 600.
Yeah.
But
I struggle to answer that question. Which one should they buy? So
I just tell them flat out, it's a gamble no matter what you buy.
yeah, I kind of talk them through some of the brands, some of the issues, and let them make a educated decision. I don't really promote one anymore.
Or badmouth any.
Right.
Good job.
Any. I just definitely don't promote a couple, but we won't talk about that today.
No, I do have a tendency to say, I recommend buying a brand you've heard your whole life. I think that that's where your money's better spent, is with the names that you've heard your entire life. And most people appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's not really saying, hey, this one's best, but it's saying which ones to maybe not buy.
Right. Well, let's get this morning started. This Thursday morning started with some prayer, and then we're going to talk part suppliers today. So stay tuned. After the prayer, we'll get on to that. Dear God, our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, Lord. We thank you for the opportunity to open our eyes and breathe the breath that we have today, the ability to go out and perform a job, a work, a service to others, and get paid for that service, Lord. We will have our fulfillment and provide a quality service to our customers that they appreciate and are willing to pay for. And we can provide for our families, Lord. We ask you to bless each and every one out there that can hear us or see us or that see us later. Lord, we ask you to guide and direct all of our steps today, all of our interactions. Let us have a positive and uplifting day, even if it is us that is the positive and uplifting person or experience in the interactions today. If we encounter negativity, we will let our lights shine and show the love that we have through you. We ask you to keep each and every one of the trucks wheels on the ground and safe without accident, and all of the techs out there performing the jobs, they will be safe and return home to their families. We ask all of this in your son Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, as I think about it, I just got a phone call.
Starts early.
Yeah. Everybody knows I'm on here until about 9 o'clock. But as we pray, man, I think there's so much to pray for. And one situation comes up to me. The business owners that are out there struggling, we all put on a face and show that everything's great and struggle to share our losses.
Oh, we're living the dream. Don't pretend.
But yeah. So yeah, we're busy now, man. Whatever your name is, Facebook user. There's people out there that are really struggling, and it's a reminder that this thing that we're doing, running these businesses, is hard. It is hard, and even though we get through it, sometimes some people struggle with it, and it really affects you. Well, I like that 7 mic radius. I think it means mile, but good for you, man. So let's remember those out there that struggle and not take for granted what we're going through, the strength that it takes. So let's remember that in the prayer as well. 70-mile drive today. See, that's more like our drives. I've got to go from Mount Sterling, which is in the middle of my area, all the way to Lexington, which is about a 30 to 40-minute drive, and then all the way back to the other side of Moorhead, Kentucky, which is probably an hour from Lexington, because I'm cherry picking my calls. So
Shame on you. I probably have 30 miles to drive today. I'm doing all right today.
That's good. That's good. So today we're going to talk about part suppliers.
Can I preface this before you go into part suppliers?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. Airing your grievances, okay? Let's just imagine that you've got an upset customer that has aired their grievances on Google. Okay? You got a Google review. It's a negative review, and it's directly about you. Would you have preferred that that customer brought it to you before Google, or is it okay that they went straight to Google?
Well, I think we'd all prefer them to come to us first.
Okay, let's just go into this with that same attitude. We're not airing grievances about any one direct manufacturer. That's not the platform that we should be using here. Yeah. We are talking generally about all of them, and any of our direct grievances should be taken up with the vendor directly, not through this kind of majorly public platform, potentially majorly public. It might only be 80 people that watch it, but it could be 10,000 people that finally get that message. So let's not go bashing people here.
That's correct.
Okay, cool.
Mona, let me add to that. And that's great thought to add to this, because we're going to talk about part suppliers. We are not bashing part suppliers. I don't know how much we'll even be mentioning direct part supplier names. We may, in passing, the ones that we use. We are positive and uplifting. The purpose of this discussion is to open the minds of you out there, the techs and business owners that are setting up the ordering, and also to provide feedback to the part suppliers that may watch or may be watching. This is in the name of elevating the industry and providing information so that we can all get better. So any comments negative about any part supplier should not be posted.
I think we should just ask that they don't post a name. Yeah, right. Air your grievances all you want. Just don't do it directly to the vendor. That's not.
Yeah. We're not here to bash any vendor.
Well, we are actually,
but not
directly. Yeah.
And it is the purpose of letting any of these vendors that the shoe fits know that these are issues that we have and where they can get better.
Right.
This Facebook user says, come to me first, of course, but it's all in customer relations. If you're professional and sincere, most customers will not post negatively. And to that same extent, what we want to do is open up the other side of the discussion and try to understand each side. Got infested, control, invested maybe. I don't know what that means.
I'm assuming with bugs.
Oh, okay.
That's how I read it.
This Facebook user says people can always change and edit their Google reviews. I've reached out to negative feedback before. Always try to make it right with the customer. Absolutely.
Did they boot everybody? Why is everybody Facebook today?
I don't know. We're on YouTube. I think Kyle was on YouTube.
I meant none of the names are being posted.
Oh, yeah. That's right. If you want to post and have your name posted, you got to click the link above in the comment description that gives StreamYard permission to use your name. That's right. Some of them did, and some of them stuck. Yeah. I don't know if we got new people or yeah. Facebook users' lives matter too. All right. So, anyways.
Yeah.
So we ran a couple polls this week and last week. I did, and it's to open this discussion. The first one was, who is your preferred part supplier? And the purpose of it was to open the eyes of some people that are ordering parts and to see what other options are out there, but also to have other part suppliers see where they may land, because it's really hard to gauge this. And if you are in the top three and you want to remain in the top three, you might want to listen to this. If you are not in the top three and you would like to be, you might want to listen to this. Then we also did a poll that we'll discuss right after this. Why do you use the part supplier you use if availability is equal across the board? Because obviously we all use the one that has it, but what is the next reason? So we had to do that one twice. Scott says, develop a relationship and have a candid conversation. Seems regional on how well we work with distributors. That's right. And Reggie likes to say, lean on your rep. Whatever rep you have, whatever company you're dealing with, build that relationship with them. This one's been using triples for 30 years. So the results, unbiased for me and Andrew, but the results are the results. Number one was Marcone with 32% of 434 votes. Okay. That's the largest vote count that we've had yet. Reliable came in second with 18% of the votes. And Encompass, the new dog in the fight, got 12% as third place. Everyone below that was 7 or lower, and a bunch of them received votes, but were still 0%. So that's where we are with part suppliers. I'll share my 4 that I deal with in no particular order are Marcone, Tribbles, Dayton Appliance, and Encompass. So this opened my eyes to how many vendors there are out there that we could use.
So I'd like to know if anybody has the direct knowledge, what's going on between Partstown, Dayton Appliance, and Encompass.
So I've got that information to some degree.
Yeah, I do too.
So Partstown is the big dog. They're international. And they bought Dayton Appliance Parts, and then bought Encompass.
Okay.
I believe the intention may merge all of them eventually, so they can have commercial parts and various distribution centers throughout. I don't know if that's going to move any farther or how fast it's going to move, but it's very interesting because
if it causes them to grow to be huge, that's going to be a big deal, right? It's like the Sprint T-Mobile merge.
Yeah.
Neither one of them were much, but now they're supposed to be a competitor, and whether they are or not's a different story. But that's what'll be cool is if they do become one of those bigger competitors.
Yeah, and it's not a monopoly because there's so many out there and relevant ones as well. But any way that you can get more availability, faster shipping times, and better prices is what we're going to talk about next. That's going to grow your part supplier's business. So we'll move to the results of the other poll, which had 205 votes. I think there might have been some confusion because I posted it first and had availability as one of them, and some people probably didn't vote the next time. But the results are very similar. Okay. Let's see. All right, they're heading off. Have a blessed day, bud. Top 3 reasons other than availability, which availability is key lately. Some of the places I was ordering from doesn't seem to have the availability anymore. So some others are stepping into that spot now. It's month to month. Top 3 reasons why people use a part supplier other than availability. Number 1, shipping speed, 33%. If you can get it faster, we want to buy from you. Number 2, lowest price. I think that's appropriate that price came in second because it's less important, 24%. Number 3 was local proximity, which could be tied to shipping speed, 15. And that's the way I go is if I can get it locally and I need it now, I buy there. Or I'll buy there because I have a personal relationship face to face and I can have it next day if I can't go there. I know I can have it tomorrow, no problem. Or we can pick it up tomorrow. So you save on all shipping that way.
Well, it's funny that that's where your mind went, because immediately when I saw shipping speed, I thought, I don't care nearly as much about speed as I do about reliability. If they say it's going to be here on an ETA, I really would like it to be there, because that dependability then interacts with me and my customers. So shipping speed, although is important, I'd rather have an accurate ETA than the fastest.
Yeah, that's actually really good. I didn't get that as an option on that. Scott says, what I will say, Encompass seems to have more accurate information on back ordered parts. They are fairly close on delayed delivery times. That's correct. Facebook user says, I was doing pickup, but since gas went up, started getting shipped it overnight. Me too. I stopped using my local part supplier as much because I realized saving that $10 to $12 wasn't really saving me. I had to drive there and pick it up and bring it back and then get it to each of the techs to get it going. Being the biggest doesn't always make them the best. You can lose that personal touch. Yep.
One option that you did not put on your scheme of list here, I think it's a huge one, is the confidence that you have in the quality of the product that you're buying.
Yep. That was where I was going to go next too.
There was a user that said they had an infested board.
Yeah.
We've all had damaged parts because of negligence, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what you're speaking of, whether it be bugs or whether it be scratches or dents. Now, some of that can be blamed on manufacturers, but some of it is the fault of the vendor as well.
Yeah.
So
their quality assurance is key. We've been seeing some posts lately in the Alliance group of parts coming busted up, returned parts, barely even checked, that you could tell were obviously used. Those things matter. And I didn't want to gloss over what you said too, the dependability. When you say you have it and we order from you because you have it, and then you don't have it, it makes me very upset.
Oh, I've stopped using a vendor because of it.
Yeah. I tell you, I don't guarantee a return time as much as I used to last year, because it's kind of happened. It's bit me a few times. So what I'll try to say is, if I can see that it's available, I'll say it should be by the end of next week. No matter what day of the week it is, we should have it within a week, barring any shipping experiences, right? Well, I had to send out 4 messages last night to customers I went to last week and told them I would have their part this week. Ordered from 3 different vendors because availability was low, and I don't have any of them yet, and they were ordered on Wednesday. So parts that are available should not take a week to get, and it's just frustrating because these are bigger ticket sales, and we can't get the parts fast enough when they say they are here, and that ain't at any one of them. But
in light of cost of doing business, everybody wants the higher profit margin, which is first call complete, which means pre-ordering parts frequently. So when you're pre-ordering a part, you'd like to say, hey, today's Thursday. I can definitely be there Monday, right? I need to be confident that my vendor is going to have me a part by Saturday afternoon to make sure I'm there on Monday. It's only Thursday.
Yeah, I agree. And this is what I do too. Scott Ventura says, if there's one part in stock, we try to buy elsewhere because I'm scared of poor inventory counts. If it's just a bunch of ones on the availability and I can't find it anywhere else that says they have at least 3, then I call them and I say, can you make sure that you have this?
Yep. Can you put your hands on that?
But it's frustrating too. But Alex's, was that the same part from 3 vendors? It was the It's the same type of part, but it was different part numbers. They were all ice maker kits, and so ice maker, control board, whatnot. I think one of them was the actual kit, and two of them were pieced together kits because they don't provide the kit. And you may know what I'm talking about there. If you know, you know, I guess.
So that topic moves on to something that I wanted to bring up, which is questionable warehousing, right? That
Mm-hmm.
2 is 1 is none. That's an old saying, but what about the vendor that you're using that has 3 of the 4 parts that you actually need for that job?
Yeah,
So
I
let's
got
just
one
use
of those.
Samsung idlers as a right. You want an idler pulley, you want a belt, you might want a roller, and you might want a heater. Right? There's 4 parts, and they've got 3 of those 4 parts at one warehouse.
Yeah,
How annoying is that? You know darn well that all 4 of those are commonly sold together. Why would you not have all 4 in the same warehouse?
yeah, yeah. It takes extra thought, and uh, I don't
The
want to
computer
sound
algorithm's doing that for them. I
right.
mean,
Yeah, you know how you would think, and I'm not a electronic tech guy, but you know how when you're searching for something and it says people who search this also looked at these.
yeah,
But, hey, the people who bought this idler pulley also bought rollers and belts.
right.
Maybe they should be together. And of course, I like buying the kit that has it all. But to that point, when I get to where, and I've had this a few times, especially when you're piecing together an ice maker kit. Uh, and then we also had this one weird customer that something happened and they wanted to replace all of their control boards because they didn't trust it. Well, 3 of them were available and one wasn't. And then they don't want us to come back with 3 and not the one. He's like, hey, it might not even need to be changed. Might be a reason that's not available. But I try to buy all the parts from the same vendor. The one that has all of them is going to get my business. If none of them do, then I have to piece it together. That's frustrating as well.
Right.
Uh, Here's another
Yeah.
topic:
Yeah, it is.
return time frame and the ease of return. This is the number one reason I use my local supplier
Is it?
on certain things.
This is
Right?
actually I think the best point about Marcone. I feel like theirs is the easiest process. I will brag
But
on their return process.
what other than that, what is easier than take it and drop it off? I mean, you're
Okay,
going to
so
drop it off at a post office or a shipping site. So give it to them and let them deal with it. That's why. So when I buy a control board that has a core, or if I ain't sure if this is going to be the part that fixes it, I'll try to buy it from that local supplier. But go ahead with Marcon.
yeah, my local tends to give us grief about returning parts, so it's not as easy of a process. It's less comfortable. Marcone, there's no judgment. They will apparently take anything back because I'm just teasing. That's not really true. I know it's not true, but I do know that they don't give you as much grief, right?
Yeah,
And when you get that call tag and you can get it boxed up and shipped back, as long as it's within a reasonable time frame, it
yeah,
seems like they are pretty decent about crediting you. Although it cost you $25 to do that,
yeah.
12 to you, 12 back. But um, you know,
So I've seen with Marcon the the warranty side of it. So if you receive a part that's damaged or doesn't work, I have filed some claims, and it's only
mhm,
been a few, and the time that I've been doing this, so they're pretty good on the quality of what you get.
right.
Uh, it's a little bit of a process, but it's
Yeah, but it works.
fairly easy for what you're doing.
Yeah,
And the 3 times I've had to do it, they have not required me to send the part back, which I love.
that's
Pictures,
not consistent.
pictures is great, uh, but the fact that they didn't make me send it back, and it may not be every time, but 3 times for me, and it may be the cost of the part. wasn't worth it, or whatever. But I thought that was very easy. Now I've not had to do that in a long time. Cruz says he tells his customers up to 10 days to eliminate any issues unless it's on back order. That's a good practice. It's very similar to what we're doing. Mark Kelly, do you buy much from Amazon? So I have, I tell people I have 6 places I can get parts from. 2 of those are Amazon and eBay. Those are number 5 and 6 for me. I mean, if I want to help a customer and none of the part suppliers I'm doing business with have it, I will look at those places and provide a solution to the customer. But it will be shared with them that I bought it from Amazon or eBay, and the guarantee will be accordingly, and the prices will be accordingly. What are your thoughts, Andrew?
I'm going to come from a little bit more strict place here, so please don't judge me negatively because I'm not judging you. I will not buy from Amazon. Personally, I will not buy anything from Amazon, period, across the board. It doesn't matter if we're talking about appliances. However, I do have an eBay account and I do buy things online, obviously, but the option for me is to give it to the customer. Hey, Amazon might have this. Actually, I do it pretty often. Like an ice bucket they might need, or something that they can do themselves. I'll give them a part number and say, check that out on Amazon. I bet you get a better price.
Absolutely.
And here's, that's where the value is for them. I will not buy a part from Amazon and sell it to the customer. All said, there is one part that I will consistently buy aftermarket, and it's the Genair fan switch for their downdraft. It's not available anymore, but there is a manufacturer out there, and I will buy that aftermarket. But it's the only option. It's not the cheap option. It's the only option. So I'm not infallible, but I don't buy aftermarket. I buy OEM as best I can.
Yeah, so I think this kind of lines up with that. Trust might be the reason, and knowing you, part of that's probably staying in the liability.
Right, it is. That's been ingrained into me. It's all about doing things to keep the liability off you as best possible.
I may be able to learn a little bit from that. See.
Yeah, we're reputable parts vendors.
Alex wants you to share the two-speed switch or 1-speed, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's I believe I can only find the single speed switch. You can't get it with light. You can't get it with 2 speeds, as far as I know. But I can see if I can find that on my phone and show it to you guys.
All right, trying to get through some of these. I'm missing some here. Kyle, going back up. In Chicago, I use a local company called Midwest Appliance Parts, but they are also a big international company and send parts all over the world. Facebook user says, what grinds me more is the shipper. There's no rhyme or reason to their delivery schedule. They're either at my door at 10 a.m. or 6 p.m. The distributor ships overnight, but I can't rely on the shipper. So I never promise my customer I'll be back next day. Yeah, the only way I guarantee it next day is if I either have it and I need to go back and get it from the shop, or I know I have it at the local supplier and I know I can be back. That's true. TK, what's up, TK? Shipping and returns is huge. I don't want to be stuck holding a part I don't need. Yeah, I'll tell you where I only have a couple options. One locally. I probably struggle on first trip completes because I don't pre-order parts unless I'm really sure, and because I don't feel comfortable with any of the return processes yet. I may need to work on that, but it's just like giving myself an extra job to take care of sending returns back. So if I don't know pretty sure that it's going to be this, or I'm not willing to sit on it, then I don't do it. And we're probably struggling for that, but it's an area to grow. Mark says
it is.
Bible gives me 60 days. Mark Cohn gives me 30 days to return. It's important because you can sit on it for 30 to 60 days, right?
Easy.
And
Yeah,
then
that can slip through the cracks in no time. So what about the websites? I know that that's pretty low, easy to use website, but I think the website actually is a pretty important part of a vendor. Not so much the ordering part, but the spending time on their website. I think the better IPL, the more IPLs, the more information that you can get about a product, the more likely I am to use that vendor.
Yeah.
Also, pictures on the website, that really does mean something. It is beneficial.
Trust.
The link from the IPL to the actual part page, that's huge, right? The vendor that shows the stock, shows the picture, shows the pricing, they give all the information in one place. That's the vendor that I look up almost every one of my parts from.
Yeah, I'll tell you that's accurate too. Scott's here bragging 73.1%. Ask me how I know. He's started his KPI tracking in the Appliance Alliance Mastermind group. Congrats, Scott. Yeah, so ease of website is big for me, man. And I, like I said, the information provided builds the trust.
Yeah.
That if you have a few part pictures or at least one, so that we know that we're buying the right part and there's not some mistake, especially when they convert to a new part number
or change descriptions.
Yeah, and you don't have, it's a generic description, and you don't have a picture to prove that yes, this is the right part. So I'm a little more tech and more of a millennial in that sense, that I like a good website. I like to be able to type in my number and roll and get all of the information on the next page, and see what I need to have, what models it applies to. One of them does that very well. Cross-referencing parts very well, not 100%, but better than all the others. Schematics, that's a big one. I like to have, when I search for a model number and I got to find a part, I like it when the thumbnail pictures of each diagram is easy to see. So, like, some of them have really generic names to their parts diagrams and no picture, no thumbnail picture of what you're going to actually look at. So you got to click into all these different ones to find out where this part might actually be, to find it. And then some of them, when you click back, you got to start all over again. So I usually do my parts lookup on Sears. I don't personally buy anything from Sears, because they burnt me twice on dependability of shipping. They said they had it and took over a month to get it, because apparently they didn't have it. But
and they were more expensive.
Yeah, and yeah, the prices ain't consistent. So this is when I first started, and then I found out I had Dayton and Tribbles. Keep getting the messages on my phone. That was my first two providers, was Dayton and Tribbles, and they had it much cheaper, and they actually had it. Burnt me bad. So there's something.
What about
earlier? One place had a 5-day return. That's nuts. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, what about the ability to see your past orders and navigate through your past orders? Does that mean anything to you?
Yes, it does. I'll tell you, one that I love for that is Tribbles.
Yeah.
Tribbles is very easy. Another thing I love about Tribbles website, I don't have to log in every 5 minutes. I don't even have to log in.
It doesn't crash. That was going to be a complaint that I had.
It goes for days. Like, Marcone's site is so intuitive and gives so much information, but if I am switching between windows on any device, I might have to add my my user information in again. I love sign in and go. Like, let's get it going. I ain't got time to sign in 5 times.
Marcone's not the one that burns me, but I do have one out there that gets me. 1 out of 5 times it logs me out before I'm done.
Yeah, there's a couple, but that's one that probably gets me the most. And the other thing I don't like is on the mobile, you got to actually flip between model and part on the search instead of having it come up. Let's get this comment. See what this was about. Rob Jones, it's our Samsung rep. One thing I've always said to my reps with all suppliers, I need you to be in business for me to thrive. You need to make money to be in business. So my main concern regarding cost of parts is letting me know when an increase is coming. As long as I know cost is correct, I can adjust due to cost. Just don't surprise me. Communication is key. And he went on here with part suppliers, ease of use for operational policies is what's best for each company. Yeah, it's the same thing that we were talking about earlier, and like Reggie says, lean on your rep. You got to have that relationship. You got to know who your contact is and know them, be in contact with them, communicate. So I have 4 vendors that I'm using. Can't get all my fingers on the thing. 4, if you can't count there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That two of them I actually talk to. One of them I see in person, and the other I can talk to anytime online or call them up. But I'm open about it. Here's why I'm using you. Here's what I am struggling with. Here's why I like this other one better. I ain't ashamed to say another company's name in their store. They need to know where they stand. And like Rob said, in order for us to be in business together, it has to be a partnership, right? These part suppliers, if you're using them right and they're using you right, we should be partners. They should want to see our business do well. If our businesses do well, we buy more parts. If they're part of that, we buy more of them from them.
So great service and service representatives came in the middle of the pack as far as your poll.
Yeah,
it's funny that that's not that big of a deal to people.
Well, I really saw that and thought about it too, because it's important. But is it the top 3? So like when we go to order parts and all things are available, are we going to choose? I like this rep over. I can get it 2 days faster. And here's another one. Shipping cost is so low. Well, it's number 4. It's 10. Some brag about their shipping costs being the lowest around, or it's a flat shipping. There's no surprises. That's cool. I don't care. It's just like the lowest price. I don't care to pay $2, $3, $4, $5, $20 if it's a big part, and you can get it to me now. And I'll tell you the other thing. Shipping speed is probably not as important as people put it on. Like, I want it and I want it quick, but the difference between 1 day and 2 or 3 days, probably in a lot of cases, not a big deal.
No, it's negligible so long as you can plan accordingly. And that's what I was getting at earlier, was the dependability.
So let me go just a step farther on this. And this was brought to my attention as well. How far booked out are we usually? So currently I'm 2 to 3 days out. So if I'm ordering a part, when am I going to be back? I'm not going to be back tomorrow. Most of us ain't going to be back tomorrow anyway.
Right.
Unless you have everything rocking right now to where you're 1 to 2 days out and you got plenty of people, or maybe you got an installer. So is shipping speed really that important? It's why the majority are ordering from who they're ordering from.
We're going into a pretty deep rabbit hole here, just as a by the way. I don't know how prepared you are for this.
Well,
but it's not so much that you aren't going to be back there the next day or 2 days. It's that you're able to reschedule that customer so that they're prepared for that appointment with a dependable day.
That's where I was going to go. I was wrapping that up. But yeah, full circle. More important than the shipping speed is the dependability of the shipping speed. I don't care if you say it's going to be a week and a half. If it's back ordered and you say that it's back ordered and you can expect it on this date like one of the sites does, I better have it. I better have it in that week. If I'm going to tell the customer you're 3 weeks out, I'm okay with that. If you're the only one that has it or the only one that can get it or says you can get it by that date. Let's see. Alex, this was about something else that we were talking about. I don't trust their drawings. I've ordered boards and they were completely wrong. And that's why the pictures are so important. Show us what we're buying. Multiple pictures.
I assume he's talking about Sears Parts Direct.
That might be, yeah. I'll tell you why I use Sears is they have more of the models in their system. Like there's suppliers out there that boast that they sell Samsung parts, but they don't have really good parts diagrams. Like Encompass probably has more Samsung and LG parts than anybody on the planet, but their search part of their website is lacking. R. Mangle from YouTube says, I have a company that will do it for free if I spend over $100, but it takes 2 days, which holds me back. Well, what are you talking about? Doing what for free? I think we got you a little late.
I believe it's shipping.
Shipping. That's good.
Free shipping as long as you spend over 100.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's a score.
I mean that makes a difference when you're talking about $11 to $13 or zero.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Yeah, it's easy to spend $100.
Mark wants to know what software system we use. I believe we're both using Housecall, right?
Correct.
We'll talk about the reviews on that on another video.
Sure.
But Scott Ventura, we're a week and a half out, and that gives us a chance for hiccups in shipping. See, and that's why Scott was one of the ones that I think he favored more the representative and great service than the shipping speed. Scott gets it.
Yeah.
Price matters, but as long as you have that relationship with your rep was what he was talking about earlier. And he made a post on one of the polls. If you're having that conversation occasionally, you're not pressing them all the time, but every now and again you say, hey, can you check out my pricing? You're starting to fall out of line. A lot of times they'll meet you in the middle there. And that service matters. You don't have to shop price all the time. If you generally have pretty good pricing, pretty good service, and the shipping's okay, then you can focus on buying from who you like. Dave Roberts mentioned on one of the posts, he only buys from one, and that's Marcone primarily. He's in St. Louis area. Marcone's pretty heavily represented in St. Louis. They've got some really good reps. And if you are in the area and can build that personal relationship, all the better. You're going to get great pricing, great website, great service. Shipping times are going to be good because they're local. Why not?
My other question was about sales and promos. Do you tend to order a lot from the sales and promos?
I've looked at that a few times early on when I was trying to build my stock, but like Dayton posts promos a lot, and I would look.
Marcone does too,
and it wasn't a lot of things that I needed, and the things that I needed, I couldn't order enough to satisfy the promo. It was like, spend this much, and you get these prices on these parts. And it was like, I'd always build up a little list, and like, I'm still falling like $200 or $300 short. And I'm like,
so I've always felt like they were geared maybe a little bit more towards installers.
Yeah.
with high turnover parts like cords and stuff like that.
Yeah, stove burner covers or what drip
Would
pans
would you
elements.
be so flippers and so would you be more likely to order more from the promos, from the sales, if they were geared more towards the
Repair.
actual repair outfits?
So like if you took the most commonly ordered parts, like you can look at Marcone, they push it right there on the dashboard.
You're right.
The top parts ordered nationally and your most used parts. And you went through that list, it's about 50-50. You can see a lot of things that we order a lot of as collectively, and then you can see a lot of things that are like property manager maintenance or homeowner maintenance. If the promos were geared towards us, then if I could buy oven igniters, $10 a pop, I'd buy 20 or 30 of them. But when you're at now the cheap price I have is more like 17. It's like it's gone up a lot. It's like,
what's that for, the 66 igniter or whatever?
Yeah, the Frigidaire.
I haven't looked at them in a while.
I hadn't either until I finally looked at it last week, and I was like, geez, it went up. So I actually have a price sheet that I modified. Tribbles gave me a price sheet to fill out what's my best price somewhere else, and they adjusted my pricing accordingly.
Right on.
I took it and I modified it to some of the parts that I use. I took out the drip pans and the burner, the little coil elements, stuff like that, and I put in actual parts that I use, and I keep that, and I keep the 4 vendors that I have in there. What's the price now? And I can see where I'm at. And if I get out of line, I can talk to a rep and say, hey, starting to get out of line here. Where are we at? I don't use those words, but that relationship, what's up, Facebook user? Click the link in the top in the description to give StreamYard permission to use your name. If you want your name on the screen, you want us to know who we're talking to. That one is Doug. What's up, Doug? I just
Good morning, Doug.
We love having Doug on the grinds too, man. He's just always fun to talk to, and so positive. Like you said, he's really good at flattering people.
It's a shame. I wish I could be that good at flattering people.
I kind of like having him around. He makes me feel good about myself.
Doesn't he?
But I've had a great conversation today with you, Andrew. It's been fun. You brought very interesting perspectives and real world, much longer time in the field than me. You're what, 18, 19 years now, working on 20.
When am I coming back?
The business owner side, huh?
Am I hired? When am I coming back?
Yeah, you're coming back. We're gonna work out a schedule like Doug and TK was talking. We're gonna have some more regular guests. Andrew's going to be one of them, like Doug is, and we're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to have a little less TK and EJ, and a little bit more of other people, but you'll always have one of us on, not just me and TK, but one of us guys that's in the Service Alliance, and we're going to be chatting it up. So here's a little reminder. Like and subscribe on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, check us out on YouTube and give us a like and a subscribe. Help the algorithms, help us grow. We want to reach the people that are not in the Alliance as well and bring them in so we can get more community together. So make sure you do the things. And tomorrow, Freestyle Friday. Come ready with your questions. We're going to do a little Ask Us Anything. Running through my fun banners here. So make sure to tune in tomorrow and check us out. Don't know who you're going to get. You got to tune in to find out. and have a good day.
Yeah, have a good day, man. Thank you.
We'll see you, man. See
Yep,
y'all.
see ya.